Dear viewers, I'll be starting with a new course on sensors and transducers. This course will be mainly focusing for electrical, electronics, and instrumentation branches. The following are the syllabus of that particular course. Let us familiar what are all the things I'll be discussing in the forthcoming days. First and the foremost, I'll be discussing about what do you mean by sensors? What is the difference between sensors and transducers? How do you classify the transducers? Then the pros and cons of electrical transducers. Then transducer actuating mechanism. Then different type of transducers such as resistance transducers, variable inductance transducers, capacitive transducers, piezoelectric transducers, Hall effect transducers, thermoelectric transducers, and finally photoelectric transducers. I will try to explain in an application oriented manner. So this is the first part of that particular course. Okay. And the second module comprises of in continuation with the first module only. And a few more transducers will be familiar in the second module. Let us see what are all the things I'll be covering in the second module. So I'm going to explain about strain gauges, then load cells, then proximity sensors, pneumatic sensors, and light sensors, tactile sensors, fiber optic transducers. It is mainly for OFC communications. Then different type of digital transducers will be familiar, and recent trends and smart process transmitters, how to select a sensor or a transducer. Then what do you mean by rotary variable differential transformer and applications of rotary variable differential transformer? Then what do you mean by synchros and the synchro pair characteristics? That is already explained. Then induction potentiometers. Then MEMS. What do you mean by MEMS? Elaboration of MEMS is micro electromechanical system. It's a highly advanced topic. I'll be discussing the current trends of MEMS also. So this is the main content which I'll be discussing in second module. And regarding third module, I'll be mainly focusing on the signal conditioning. You know that the main component of transducers are one is sensor, other will be signal conditioning device. So I'll be talking about what do you mean by signal conditioning, why it is required. So introduction to signal conditioning and the functions of signal conditioning and different type of signal conditioning equipments. What do you mean by amplification? Type of amplifiers such as mechanical amplifiers, fluid amplifiers, optical amplifiers, electrical and electronics amplifiers. So these are all the things which will be belong to the first part of module 3. And coming back to the second part, data acquisition system and conversion. Here I am going to discuss about what do you mean by data acquisition, main objectives and different configurations of data acquisition system. It is one of the cutting edge topic. Okay, current trends. Then data acquisition systems and data conversions. And I'll be explaining in a simple manner. Anyway, if I talk about transducer, I should have some idea about different type of sensors and a signal conditioning device. Moving on to the fourth module, I'm mainly concentrating on data transmission and telemetry. What do you mean by data transmission? How it is correlated to transducers and what is the importance of telemetry and what are the different type of telemetric systems. And from fourth module onwards, I'll be explaining how do you measure non-electrical quantities. First and the foremost, I'm going to explain the pressure measurement. How do you measure pressure? Okay, so in continuation with the fourth module, I'm going to explain the non-electrical quantities measurement in the fifth module also. It is a continuation. Okay, once I complete the pressure measurement, directly I'll be moving on the different type of measurement of non-electrical quantities such as the temperature measurement, then flow measurement. Okay, I'll be giving a brief introduction and a different type of flow measurement devices such as electromagnetic flow meters, then ultrasonic flow meters, and the thermal meters, similarly wire anemometers, etc. And measurement of displacement that I'm going to explain separately. Then measurement of velocity or speed. Okay, then measurement of acceleration will be discussed. Then how to measure the force and how do you measure the torque and how do you measure the shaft power, one of the automobile application that I would like to explain. Then measurement of liquid level, how do you measure the liquid level, the measurement of viscosity. So these are the applications in the area of chemical engineering, especially liquid level measurement as well as viscosity in the field of chemical engineering. Okay, these are all the things that I'll be discussing in the upcoming days. First, I'll be explaining what is a sensor and what are the types of sensor. Later on, what do you mean by transducer? What is the difference between sensors and transducers? Because many of them are getting confused about the difference between sensors and transducers. That I would like to make clear first. That is a primary objective. So the main course objectives are as follows. So to discuss the need of transducers, their taxonomy, pros and cons, and you have to familiar different type of transducers and its working, and also you have to familiar the sensors also. Okay, and you have to bifurcate transducers and sensors, and discuss the recent trends in sensors technology and the selection. How do you select the sensors, and what are the cutting edge technologies? What are the current trends that you have to identify? And to discuss the basics of signal conditioning device. Anyway, in transducer, there are two components. The first component is sensor and the second component is signal conditioning device. You have to understand the importance of signal conditioning devices. Okay. Then to discuss the configuration of data acquisition system and data conversion. That is very important, especially if I talk about antennas, how you are going to transmit the data. Antenna is one of the example of transducer. Later on, I'll be discussing about telemetric system, different type of telemetric system and the basics of data transmission. It will be really helpful for electronics and communication engineering students. And to explain the measurement of various non-electrical quantities such as force measurement, torque, pressure, displacement, velocity, etc. Ultimately, once the course is completed, you can able to do some kind of useful project for your academics. So that is the ultimate goal. Okay, this I am going to imply separate for I'm focusing the last objective because it will be really helpful, because once you study different type of sensors and transducer, you try to inculcate in your project work. Then only this course will be fruitful. Okay, these are the major course objectives. Okay, while doing the course, I'll be mainly focusing these kind of objectives. I'm mainly focusing, these are my major course objectives. Now, I would like to show you the important textbooks for studying this subject. The following textbooks are really helpful for completion of the course. And the textbook, Electrical and Electronics Measurement and Instrumentation, written by R.K. Rajput, and the publication is S-Jan publication, and go for third edition. Okay, this is one of the major textbook. And you can go for the reference material, second and third, these two and third, second and third textbooks that is belong to reference. So you can go for the course in Electrical and Electronics Measurement and Instrumentation, written by J.B. Gupta, and the publication is Cats and Books Publications. And regarding the third reference, second and third both are reference books. The first one is textbook, main textbook. The course in Electrical and Electronics Measurement and Instrumentation, written by A.K. Shoni, one of the popular textbook, Dhanapatharai Publications. And if you have the year of publication, latest publication, go ahead. Otherwise, you can adjust with the older versions. Okay, these are the major textbook that will be really help you out. Okay. So in this session, I have discussed the brief overview of syllabus of that particular subject, namely sensors and transducers. In the forthcoming days, I'll be discussing the individual topic separately. Finally, thank you very much for watching this video. Keep learning.